Listen, I know you're sad. I know you're going through a hard time, maybe even harder than I expect. But trust me, I've seen it before. I've felt it before. That knife in your back, the one you never saw coming, the betrayal that left you gasping for air, drowning in a sea of memories you once called home. Yeah, I know that pain. I know what it does to a person. It changes them, breaks them, rebuilds them into something different. And right now, you're at the crossroads. You can let this destroy you. Let it eat you alive from the inside out. Or you can make them regret every single moment they thought you weren't enough. See, people have a funny way of showing their true colors. When you're at your weakest, they vanish. They disappear the second you stop being useful. The moment you need them the most. The same ones who smiled at you, promised forever, whispered sweet lies into your ear. Where are they now? Gone, like dust in the wind. And that's the thing about people. They love to watch you struggle, but they don't want to drown with you. Oh no. They'd rather step on your fingers while you're hanging off the edge of a cliff just to make sure you fall faster. But here's the secret. They don't want you to know. The fall doesn't kill you. The silence afterward does. The silence where you sit alone, abandoned, wondering what you did wrong. But let me tell you something. You did nothing wrong. You see, the problem is never you. It's them. They're weak. They couldn't handle your fire, so they tried to put it out. They feared your potential, so they buried it under doubt. But here's where it gets interesting. They think they've won. They think you're done for, that you'll never rise again. But that's where they've made their biggest mistake. Because you're not like them. You don't stay down. You don't crumble. You don't break the way they expect you to. Number, you evolve. You turn that pain into power. You take that heartbreak, that anger, that unbearable loneliness, and you forge it into something so strong, so unstoppable, that by the time they realize what they've done, it's too late. You become the storm. You think they don't regret it. Oh, they do. Maybe not now. Maybe not today. But one day, they'll wake up and feel your absence like a blade to the throat. They'll look around and realize that no one understands them the way you did. No one supports them the way you did. No one fights for them the way you did. And they'll reach for their phone, type out a message, but their fingers will freeze because they'll know it's over. You're gone. And that's when it'll hit them. They lost the best thing they ever had. And you won't care. Not anymore. Because by then, you'll have built something greater. You'll have turned your suffering into strength. You'll have risen so high that their regret will be nothing more than background noise in your symphony of success. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to seek revenge. You don't have to prove anything. Their regret will do all the work for you. So cry if you must. Scream. Break down. Feel every ounce of pain they left behind. But when you're done, stand up. Wipe your tears. Look in the mirror and remind yourself who you are. You are not a victim. You are not weak. You are not disposable. You are a force to be reckoned with. And when the time comes, when they come crawling back, when they realize what they lost, you won't even have to say a word. Your success will be the loudest silence they ever hear. Now go. Make them regret it. I know it still burns. I know every night feels like a battlefield in your head, where memories turn into ghosts, whispering everything you lost. I know you sit there, staring at the ceiling, asking yourself why. Why did they leave? Why did they throw you away like you were nothing? Why did they promise forever and vanish like a shadow in the wind? It eats at you, doesn't it? That feeling of being abandoned, of being nothing more than an afterthought to someone who once swore you were everything. That's the cruel joke of life. People will tell you they'll never leave, and then they do. They walk away, and you're left standing there, drowning in silence, trying to understand how something so real could turn into something so empty. And here's the worst part. They don't even look back. They don't pause. They don't hesitate. They keep walking like you never existed. But you did exist. You gave. You sacrificed. You poured every ounce of yourself into them. And still, it wasn't enough. Not because you weren't enough, but because they were too weak to handle someone like you. They saw your strength, and it scared them. They saw your loyalty, and they took it for granted. They thought you'd always be there waiting, suffering in silence while they lived their life without a second thought about what they left behind. But that's where they made their mistake. Because people like you don't stay broken forever. You don't rot in the pain they left you with. No, you rise, you rebuild. You turn that suffering into something so powerful that one day they'll look at you and realize they created the very thing that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you that this pain, this unbearable emptiness you feel, it's not your ending. It's your beginning. It's the fire that will forge you into something unbreakable. Because pain, like this, it does one of two things. It either destroys you, or it transforms you. And you're going to let it transform you. You're going to take everything they did, every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, and you're going to build something they can't ignore. You're going to make them regret the day they ever thought they could live without you. You think they don't feel it. You think they don't wake up in the middle of the night, reaching for a ghost. Oh, they do. Maybe not now. maybe not tomorrow, but one day they'll sit in silence, staring at their reflection, and the realization will hit them like a freight train. They lost you. Not just anyone, you, the one who was there when no one else was, the one who saw them at their worst and still stayed, the one who fought for them when they couldn't even fight for themselves. They'll remember the way you laughed, the way you understood them without words, the way you made their world feel a little less cold. And that's when the regret will settle in. The kind of regret that doesn't fade. The kind that clings to your bones, reminding you every single day of what you let slip away. But by then, you won't care. You won't be the same person who cried over them. You won't be the same person who begged for answers, who tortured yourself over what went wrong. No, by then, you'll be something else entirely. Stronger, sharper, unstoppable. You'll have taken all that pain and turned it into power. And when they see you again, if they ever do, they won't even recognize the person standing before them, because you will have become everything they were too blind to see. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? The tables always turn. The ones who leave, the ones who throw you away, they always come back. Not because they love you, not because they care, but because they finally see what they lost. But you'll be too far ahead. You'll be too untouchable. And that will be their greatest punishment. So go ahead, feel the pain. Let it consume you if you must, but only for a while. Because one day you're going to wake up and realize that you never needed them, that their absence was the greatest gift they ever gave you. And when that day comes, when you look in the mirror and see the fire in your eyes, you'll understand why they left. Because they weren't strong enough to stand beside you. And when they finally regret it, when they realize the hole they left in their own lives, you'll just smile. Because by then, you'll be too far ahead to care. You want to know the cruelest truth? The part that makes this all so much harder to swallow. They didn't just leave you, they never intended to stay. That's the part you keep running from, isn't it? The truth that digs into your chest like a blade you're too scared to pull out. You want to believe they cared, that maybe, at some point, they meant what they said. But let's be real. If they truly cared, they never would have left in the first place. People don't walk away from what they cherish. They don't abandon what they value. They don't toss aside what they can't replace. And yet there you were, watching them turn their back without so much as a second thought. That should have been all the proof you needed. But no, you held on. You held on to the hope that maybe, just maybe, they'd realize what they lost. That one day, they'd wake up and understand the damage they caused. That they'd come back apologize, fix what they shattered. But here's the thing. They never planned on fixing anything. They walked away knowing exactly what they were doing, knowing exactly how much it would destroy you. And you know what? They didn't care. That's what you need to accept. Not just that they left, but that they left willingly. They didn't stumble out of your life by accident. They weren't dragged away by some force beyond their control. No, they made a choice, a cold, deliberate choice to discard you like you were nothing. And if that doesn't light a fire in your chest, then you're not listening. Because people like that, they don't deserve your tears. They don't deserve your pain. They don't deserve a single second of your suffering. What they deserve is to watch you rise without them. You think they won? That they got away unscathed while you were left picking up the broken pieces? No, that's not how this story ends. Because here's the thing about people like them. They never stop to appreciate what they have until it's gone. Right now they're out there, living their life, oblivious to the damage they left behind. But one day, one day, it's going to hit them. Maybe it'll be in the middle of the night when they're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, realizing that no one else understands them the way you did. Maybe it'll be when they're surrounded by people but still feel utterly alone because the connection they had with you, it was real, it was rare, and they threw it away like it meant nothing. And that's the moment they'll regret it. That's the moment they'll wish they could turn back time, undo the damage, take back the pain they caused. But here's the best part. By then, you won't be there anymore. You won't be waiting. You won't be the same person who would have dropped everything for them. No, by then, you'll have outgrown them. And that will be their punishment. Because people like them, they only realize what they had when it's too late to get it back. So what do you do now? How do you move forward when every part of you still aches from the wound they left behind? Simple. You make sure their absence means nothing. You take every ounce of pain, every sleepless night, every tear you shed, and you turn it into power. You become something so unstoppable, so untouchable, that even if they did come back, they wouldn't recognize the person standing in front of them. And you wouldn't even care anymore, because the person you'll become, they could never deserve you. Think about it. The best revenge isn't anger. It isn't spite. It isn't chasing after them, begging them to see your worth. No. The best revenge is indifference. The best revenge is becoming so powerful, so successful, so at peace with yourself, that they become a distant memory, a name you barely even remember. That's what real power looks like. It's not about proving anything to them. It's about proving everything to yourself. You don't need them. You never did. What you needed was to see them for what they really are. And now that you do, They hold no power over you anymore, so let them regret it. Let them sit in the silence of their own making, wondering why they feel so empty, why no one else quite measures up. And you walk forward. You rebuild. You rise. Because the greatest revenge is simply this: becoming everything they swore you'd never be. And when they finally look back, when they realize what they lost, you'll be too far ahead to even hear their cries. You don't see it yet, but one day you will. One day, you'll wake up and the weight will be gone. The ache in your chest, the voices in your head replaying everything that happened, every word they said, every lie they whispered, it will all start to fade. Not because the pain disappears, no. Pain like this never truly leaves. It just stops controlling you. It stops defining you. And that's when you'll realize they never really had power over you to begin with. See, people like them, the ones who leave without hesitation, without remorse, they build their lives on the illusion that they're untouchable, that they can do whatever they want, walk away whenever they please. And the world will keep bending to their will. And for a while it works. For a while they get away with it. They move on. They act like you never existed. They convince themselves they made the right choice. And you're left standing in the wreckage, bleeding, wondering how they could be so cold. But here's the part they never expect. You don't stay broken forever. Because what they fail to realize is that pain like this, it creates something they can't control. It forces you to wake up, to open your eyes, to see them for what they really are. And once you do, they lose their grip on you completely. That's the moment they stop winning. That's the moment the power shifts. Because while they're out there, still thinking they made the right decision, still believing they're better off without you, you're evolving into something they will never be able to reach again. That's the part they'll never see coming. They expect you to crumble. They expect you to stay in the dark, lost in the pain they left behind. But what they don't know, what they can't even comprehend, is that you are not the type to stay broken. You are not the type to be destroyed by someone who never even deserved you in the first place. No, you take that destruction and you turn it into something greater, something unshakable. And by the time they realize what they lost, it'll be too late. By the time they look back, hoping to find the person they abandoned, you won't be there anymore. Not because you disappeared, not because you ran, but because you outgrew them, because you became something they can't even reach anymore. That's what real revenge looks like. Not anger, not bitterness, indifference. That's what will destroy them in the end. Not the fact that you moved on, but the fact that you stopped caring. The fact that the person they once had, the person who would have given them everything, is gone, not dead, not missing, just untouchable. And nothing will haunt them more than knowing they could have had you, but they threw you away. You think they don't feel it? That they don't regret it? Oh, they do. Maybe not now, maybe not today, but one day they'll be sitting alone, staring at a phone that doesn't light up with your name anymore. They'll scroll through old messages, through old pictures, and they'll feel it, the weight of everything they lost, the realization that they let go of something real, something rare, something they'll never find again. And that's when the regret will start to sink in. That's when they'll understand the gravity of their mistake. But by then, you'll be too far gone to care. By then, you'll have built something for yourself, something greater than anything they ever could have imagined. And when they come back, when they try to find their way into your life again, you won't have to say a word. You won't have to seek revenge. You won't have to prove anything, because your success, your happiness, your strength, that will be the loudest silence they've ever heard. That's how you win. Not by chasing after them, not by waiting for them to realize what they lost, but by becoming so untouchable that their regret becomes their own punishment. Because people like them, they always come back. Always. Not because they love you, not because they care, but because they finally understand that they lost something they will never, ever get back. And you won't even look their way, so let them regret it. Let them sit in the silence of their own making. Let them drown in the weight of their own decisions. Because you're not the one who lost. They are. And nothing will haunt them more than knowing that the person they once had is now just a distant memory, one they can never touch again. You need to understand something. This pain, this rage, this emptiness you feel, it's not permanent. Right now, it feels like it's swallowing you whole, like every breath you take is just another reminder of the void they left behind. But that void, it's not your weakness, it's your rebirth. Because every time someone leaves you, every time someone betrays you, you're given a choice. Let it destroy you, or let it rebuild you. And I need you to hear me when I say this. You are not meant to be destroyed. You are not meant to be broken beyond repair. You are meant to rise, to take this pain, this betrayal, and turn it into something so powerful that by the time they realize what they did, you'll be too far ahead for them to even reach. You see, people like them, they operate under one simple belief, that they can leave without consequence, that they can walk away, rip your heart out, and somehow you'll just sit there waiting for them to come back. That's the biggest lie they tell themselves. They convince themselves that you'll always be there, that no matter what they do, no matter how badly they hurt you, you'll never move on. And at first, they're right. At first you do wait. At first you do suffer. You do replay every memory. You do torment yourself with thoughts of what went wrong. And they know that. They count on that. But what they don't see, what they can never predict, is the day you stop waiting. The day you wake up and realize that their absence is not a curse. It's a gift. Because every second they spend away from you, every moment they spend thinking they made the right decision, is just another second you spend becoming something greater. And one day, when they finally realize what they lost, when they finally understand that they walked away from something real, it will be too late. That's the part they never prepare for. They never expect you to evolve. They never expect you to take all that pain and turn it into something they can't even recognize. They expect you to stay the same, to remain frozen in time, stuck in the moment they left you. But you're not like them. You don't stay broken. You don't stay lost. No, you take every scar, every wound, and you build something they can never reach again. And one day they'll wake up and feel it. The silence, the absence of your voice, the emptiness of your presence. They'll scroll through their phone, looking for a message that isn't there. They'll hear a song and it'll remind them of you. They'll walk past a place you once went together, and for the first time, they will feel what you felt. That hollow ache in their chest, that suffocating regret, that realization that they can't turn back time. They'll want to. Oh, they'll want to. But they won't be able to. Because you will be too far ahead to even notice. That's the revenge. Not hate, not anger, just indifference. That's what will eat them alive. Not that you moved on, but that you stopped caring, that they are no longer a part of your world, that their name no longer carries weight, that their memory is nothing more than a ghost, a whisper in the wind, a mistake they will never be able to correct. So let them go. Let them think they won. Let them live in their illusion. Because one day, reality will hit them harder than they ever expected. And when it does, when they finally realize what they threw away, you won't even be looking in their direction. You see, the funny thing about people like them is that they believe they hold the power. They believe they can leave, disappear, and you'll be the one suffering, the one drowning in silence, the one who never recovers. That's what they convince themselves. That's the lie they tell so they can sleep at night without guilt. Because if they truly admitted what they did, if they truly looked at the damage they left behind, they wouldn't be able to live with themselves. So they lie. They tell themselves you'll always be stuck, that you'll never move on, that they were the best thing to ever happen to you. But what they don't understand, what their arrogance blinds them from seeing, is that people like you don't stay down forever. Right now, yeah, it hurts. Right now it feels unbearable. Every time you close your eyes, you see them. You hear their voice in your head, laughing, talking, promising things they never meant. And that's what cuts the deepest, isn't it? Not just that they left, but that they made you believe they wouldn't. They gave you words to hold on to, words that felt real, words that wrapped around your heart like chains, and then they shattered them like they meant nothing. They let you believe you were safe, that they would stand by you, that they were different. But in the end, they were just like the rest. They did what everyone else did. They left. But listen to me carefully now. They will regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually they will. Because life has a cruel way of teaching people lessons they never wanted to learn. One day, they'll be sitting alone, looking at someone new, and it will hit them like a bullet to the chest. This person isn't you. This person doesn't understand them the way you did. This person doesn't make them feel safe. This person doesn't know the little things, the small details, the unspoken thoughts. And that's when the cracks will start to form. That's when they'll start comparing. That's when they'll realize they traded something irreplaceable for something temporary. And when that moment comes, oh, it will destroy them. They'll scroll through old conversations, searching for pieces of you, trying to feel that warmth again. They'll wonder if they made a mistake, and then they'll know they did. They'll want to reach out, to fix it, to take it all back. But by then, you won't care. Because here's the thing about moving on. It doesn't happen overnight. It's slow. It's painful. It's a battle between who you were and who you're becoming. But the moment you finally let go, the moment you stop looking back, that's when you win. That's when their power over you disappears. Because they expect you to stay haunted. They expect you to spend years waiting, hoping, longing for them. But when they finally see you again, when they see that fire in your eyes, that strength in your steps, that unshakable, unstoppable force you've become, they will feel it. The regret, the loss, the weight of their mistake crushing down on them. And that's when you'll know. That's when you'll realize that everything they put you through, every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of self-doubt, it was all leading you here, to this version of yourself. The version they can't break, the version they'll never get back. So let them go. Let them think they won. Let them live in their delusion. Because one day, when reality finally hits them, when they finally understand the depth of their mistake, it will be too late. And you will be untouchable. You don't see it now, but one day you will. One day you'll wake up and their name won't be the first thing on your mind. Their memory won't haunt your every thought. You won't feel that suffocating weight on your chest when you realize they're gone. No, one day you won't feel anything at all, and that day, that's the day you win. That's the day you finally break free from everything they made you believe. Because right now they still have a hold on you. Not because they deserve it, not because they're special, but because they conditioned you to think they were. They made you believe they were irreplaceable, that what you had was something you'd never find again. But that's the greatest trick they ever pulled, convincing you they were worth the pain. Because let's be honest, if they truly mattered, if they truly cared, would they have left? Would they have abandoned you when you needed them the most? No. People who are meant to stay, stay. They don't walk away when things get hard. They don't throw you away like you were nothing. They don't leave you standing in the wreckage, questioning your worth. But they did, didn't they? And yet, here you are, still holding on, still trying to make sense of it, still wondering if they'll ever come back. But let me tell you something. You don't want them to, because people like them. They don't change. They don't wake up one day and suddenly realize your worth. No, what happens is much worse. They wake up one day and realize they lost control over you. They realize you've moved on, that you no longer care, that their words no longer have power. And that's when they come crawling back. Not because they love you, not because they regret hurting you, but because they miss the control. They miss knowing that you would have done anything for them. They miss having someone who would have burned the world down just to keep them warm. But here's where it gets interesting. You won't be that person anymore. No. By the time they realize what they lost, you will have outgrown them in every way. You will have rebuilt yourself into someone they can't manipulate, someone they can't guilt trip, someone they can't pull back into their orbit. And when they finally see you again, when they finally reach out, hoping to rekindle what they destroyed, they will realize the person they once knew is gone. And that will haunt them for the rest of their life. Because people like them, they don't regret losing you until they realize they can't have you back. They don't understand the damage they caused until they're the ones left standing in the cold. And by then, it's too late. By then, you'll have risen so high that their regret will be nothing more than a distant echo. And the best part? You won't even care. That's the secret to real power. Not revenge, not hatred, indifference. The moment you stop caring, the moment you stop looking back, the moment you realize they were never as important as you made them out to be, that's when you become truly unstoppable. That's when you take everything they did to you and turn it into something they will never have access to again. And that will be their greatest punishment. Because the truth is, they thought they could break you. They thought they could walk away and leave you shattered, leave you begging for closure, leave you questioning your own worth. But what they never expected was for you to survive, to rebuild, to become someone who doesn't just endure, but thrives. They never saw that coming. And by the time they do, by the time they finally realize what they lost, you'll be long gone. So let them regret it. Let them sit in the silence they created. Let them feel the emptiness of their own choices. Because you have better things to do. You have a life to build, dreams to chase, a future to create. And the best part? None of it includes them.